So we continue the training, and particularly workbook 3. That's what we've been on. Create your inner motive force. So, and we are on the chapter 4 of it, of that workbook, determine your true goals. Again, the quotation that you have on the screen there, realize what you really want. It stops you from chasing butterflies and puts you to work, digging gold. At the end of it's expected that at the end of this session, you should be able to describe goals as active commitments. Determine the goals that transform your vision into action. Break the cycle of inaction. Design your legacy from drift to direction, and be able to play the blueprint for your community transformation. We have looked at this last week, if you remember. We talked about a homing pigeon. I said, take it out, try whatever you can to cover it up so that it wouldn't see, and then drive 1,000 miles from wherever you are. Release it from 1,000 miles away. Bring it out of the cage, open the blanket, and release to the air. It will cycle 3 times and go right back to the home roost. We talked about it last week, if you remember. And then we said only man shares this kind of cybernetic function with homing pigeons, that anytime you are very clear about the goals you want to reach, you don't even know how to achieve it at the beginning. Then once you're clear about that goal, somehow the goals start attracting you and pulling you to fulfill it. It's natural with man. It's a lot of things in you open up. It's an internal cybernetics that begins to draw you unerring, reunite you with the goal. The way your eyes see, the way you think, the way you do everything. And because of this incredible cybernetic mechanism within the mind, you almost always achieve whatever goal you set, whatever that goal is. So this is the foundation that we are bringing up, that goals they are commitments. They are commitments that you're making to yourself. I said goals are not passive dreams. They are commitments. They are not wishes. When we take our future that we have seen and capture it in goals, they are not things we wish would happen. And that's a major thing. Our minds need to shift and focus and lock into specifics of what will happen. Goals are not passive dreams. They are active pledges to your community. Precisely defined, if you define the goal precisely, it stops you scattering energy on distractions, what we call chasing butterflies. Instead, it galvanizes all your efforts into truly transforming lives. That's what we call digging gold. God put us here to walk the garden, to alter the life experience of humanity. That's golden in the eyes of God. But of course, when you audit your life, you find for most often you are so distracted with other things that do not affect or change human lives. That's what we're calling butterfly chasing. For example, if your goal is to reduce youth unemployment, your commitment will be, I will connect 50 youths to vocational training by December. It's a commitment. This is what I'm going to make happen by December. I hope young people find jobs. It's not a commitment. It's a wish. You know, this unemployment in Nigeria is so high, and the way politicians have destroyed our economy, well, we hope young people will find jobs when they finish. There's no commitment there. And you wonder why, over the years, it appears more and more young people are not finding jobs. Because the workers of the garden, none of them have committed to that happening. There's no goal set. Biblical blueprint. Whatever you ask for in prayer, believe, trust, and be confident that it is granted you, and you will get it. Guaranteed. So never ask, therefore, for what you are not ready to pursue and materialize. That's making a mockery of God. Never ask for what you are not ready to pursue. Because anytime you ask, whatever you ask for in prayer, believe, be confident that it is granted you. And when it is granted, means it can be collected because it's been granted. If you are not going to go through the process of collecting it, I said, don't ask, because that's making a mockery of the person doing the granting. He grants, you don't collect, and the news goes out in the world that you asked and it wasn't given. In Nigeria, we've been asking and asking and asking for God to change our nation for how many years? And the nation getting worse and worse and worse. And of course, those of us senior Christians, we try to console younger ones. I say God works in a mysterious ways. His wonders to perform. Don't read this, don't worry. In fact, if not for God, it would have been much worse. That's kind of what we tell the younger people. That we're even grateful that it is the way it is now. It would be much worse. But we don't walk on the word of God. We don't understand the principle that when you ask, it is granted. But before we did the asking, we asked from our emotions. We are not willing to collect the answer. We asked and went and sat down and refused to walk. Or don't even know we ought to walk. And don't even know what work we ought to do. So I'm saying, never ask for what you are not ready to pursue and materialize. Before you ask for good leadership in Nigeria, check, be ready that you want to pursue it and materialize. Then you ask for it. Because once you ask, heaven grants it. Means you can now collect it. Divinity is on your side. If you don't go through the process of materializing what you have prayed for, you are making a mockery of God. And there's plenty of it that have been happening. Plenty of it. When you truly believe a goal is yours, it's been granted you, it becomes your right to have it because it's been granted you. Expectation fuels your actions. Your energy focuses entirely on making it reality because it's been granted you. It's yours. If we understand how spiritual forces that we are dealing with work, no mysticism. It's not mystic. It's practical confidence. When you believe clean water or quality education is possible for your community, you take action to materialize your faith. You believe what you believe. I say you can join groups tackling similar objectives. You partner with NGOs or government programs. You read relevant books and research solutions, rainwater harvesting, for example. You attend practical seminars. You take small daily actions towards what you are expecting to be. Even if mobilizing skilled members, engineers, teachers, you believe quality education has been granted. You materialize it because you believe it's been granted. We didn't know what we are going through here, trying to help organize our thinking, that we do not believe, we pray for quality education and wait for the government to give it. we pray for good leadership. I don't even know whom we wait to give us good leaders. Government, of course, they are the ones that are bad. We are praying God to change. But we don't really have any plan to have good governance. Consistency is what guarantees achievement. Regular action to take hold of what's been granted. So key insight for Nigerian leaders: start without perfect plans. Start going at the courage to begin activates the problem solving. The courage to begin. So set the goal first. Solutions follow. The mind becomes a problem solving machine once the direction is set. Automatically find paths to the goals once the desire remains. The mind is scanning, finding what to do to attain the goal. That's why the scripture will say, whatever you desire, because the desire simply need to remain. Just continue to desire it. You want it. Your mind begins to scan. And what we are trying to help ourselves now is to shift our thinking from the wanting it, that we think we are desiring it. It's actually a wishing that we are doing, not desiring it. To shifting from wishing to commitment that is going to be, because I am going after it and I will have it because being granted me. So much more to say, so let's keep going. Apply this beyond church duties. That once your mind is set at a goal, your brain begins to find ways to attain it. Things begin to happen. I said apply it beyond church duties. Clean water, youth training, healthcare, agriculture. In every one of these areas, once your brain, your mind is locked into a destiny, a purpose, a goal, a target to hit in any of these areas, somehow it doesn't, again, I said before, you don't need to know how to get there. You just have to want to get there and desire to get there. Things begin to work together to make it happen. A case study, ending malnutrition in 3 villages. That's your heart desire. Okay. Immediately, first thought, a community garden. That begins to yield incomes that fund the school. The school meals begin to lead to health improvement. And then further income. With that cycle going on, malnutrition in 3 villages gets achieved and beyond. A pastor's insight. Your pulpit is a platform for national change. From your pulpit, you see the farmer struggling in your congregation. You observe the mother without health care, graduates without skills. Your role is to ignite that change. Ignite vision. Preach not just salvation. These truths that I've been sharing here, your role is to make your congregation, their minds to open up. You are primarily an enlightener, one that brings light. In fact, Jesus so plainly said, you are the light of the world. So that's actually your primary role, is to bring enlightenment, open up people's minds so they can see what they couldn't see before. Mobilize talent. A business owner in your church can create jobs. A nurse can lead health campaigns. Then scale impact. Start locally, then partner with state and national bodies to amplify results. For example, a pastor in Kaduna noticed teen girls dropping out of school. He partnered with female teachers to host Sunday school, Saturday mentorship classes, connected parents to microloans to fund education, and then lobbied the state for scholarships. Result, 120 girls returned to school. 3 now study medicine at university. That's a very practical application. Goals that transform vision into action. We look at a practical guide. You've seen this slide before. And we discussed it at length. If you go back to the video, you will know that we discussed this at length. You are God's architect for Nigeria's future. And we say design it. Design Nigeria's future. Own it. And then build it. Can you remind me what we talked about this, if you remember? Ben, do you remember? Have you? Ben?
Sir, I remember that when we get to this place, you made us to understand that we are God's architect by representing God, trying to build the forest that we are asked to cultivate to our own taste or to a better situation. Okay. Because when God put Adam and Eve in the garden, he asked them to walk it. Okay. Necessarily, nothing much was there. But they now start designing. They start creating things. They start putting things in place. Yeah. Just like in this present generation now, the Chinese are creating so many things to solve people's problem. So yeah. I remember vividly that this is a mindset that was given to us here to change the community situation around us from what it were and what it ought to be. Yeah. Thank you.
And we are saying, design that thing it ought to be. Get the picture of it. Desire a new picture. I don't know if I can repeat that 1,000 times. Desire a new picture. Let it be a desire of yours. Again, I'm not using it's not coming out the way I want it to come out. Because when I say desire a new picture, we all desire a new picture, but we want it in Europe. We want to go to a new picture, the one that is in Europe. Or the one that's in America.
No, that's quite deep. That's quite deep.
Desire a new picture. So I'm just saying that the mentality that we're carrying doesn't make that word bring out what I really desire to put across. I mean, dream a new environment, your new Nigeria, dream it. Each one of us, that's what our brains are for. That's what we are given the mind of Christ for, to conceive. And that's what we are made creators for, to create. We are made creators so that we create. We are made in the image and likeness of the Creator because the Creator was hoping we would create. And I'm saying, let that curiosity to create, let the new things you will create, let it occupy our minds day and night. And please, if you have access to children, help me reprogram the mindset of children in Nigeria. Please help me reprogram their minds. Let them begin to dream new dreams of how they will make Nigeria, the village, how they will make the village. Help me begin to tell them that they can. When I was growing up, I wasn't told I could. I was not told that in Nigeria. I read in the Bible that you can do all things, but I wasn't told that I can transform my village. I wasn't told that. In fact, it's not even until I became an adult Christian, I got involved in strong Christian engagement, even in Nigeria. I told you that I went on mission trip, but I never thought I could change anything in my village. I never thought I could do that. It's until this session I'm doing with you now that my mind even started thinking I could change something in my village. This is I'm dealing with you. I've been running there, because it's one I'm doing with you, all the things that are coming out here. That made me even start thinking I could change something in my village. And I could actually do it from here. And I've started doing something, trying to change something. But I was supposed to be told that when I was in nursery, primary school. I was supposed to grow up with the mentality that I'm going to alter this village. Because we don't have good roads. I'm going to alter that. We don't have water. We walk for miles to go and get water. Now I'm going to alter that. That will change. I will change it. I was supposed to grow with that mentality of a new. When I looked on the TV and saw the Nollywood, not Nollywood, Hollywood videos that Nollywood have not started, the Hollywood videos, and saw, I was supposed to dream, look at my own, from my father's house, look outside and see hut. And I'll begin to imagine this kind of buildings that being there in buildings, or how people treat each other. So in the films, how people treat. I begin to imagine that that's how life is going to be around here. I'm going to, because I can do all things. Christ who strengthens me. That's the way I was supposed to grow up as a Christian. The ability of Christ in me is going to transform a lot of things in my environment. I'm going to change things here.
Okay.
And then to learn from the Bible that God actually placed me and told me to do it. That means I have it made. God is actually on my side. He actually told me to do this. That means all the wisdom I need will come. All the resources I need will come. Everything I need will come. So I'm going to do it. Help me, please, plant this in the mind of kids. Nigeria. Not the desperation these adults are expressing. Maybe you're feeling hungry now, but I'm going to alter it. I'm going to alter it. So you are God's architect because if you don't conceive that it will be, then it will never be, because it's the person that desires it, that prays, and then it gets granted to the person. It gets granted to the person that desires it and then prays for it. Then it gets granted to him, so he can now collect it because it's been granted to him. And I say in Nigeria that we have a lot of people praying for the nation. They have not been collecting the answers because we haven't been trained that we are wired to collect the answers. So we don't think it. You are God's architect for Nigeria's future. We say design that future. It's your desire, whatever you desire. So design it. Put your desires for Nigeria in paper. Put it on paper. Design it, how it's going to be. That's a desire, whatever you desire. So draw it, put it, or write it in words. Let's see it on paper, your desire, what is going to be. Then we say, own it. Own it. It's you that's going to make it happen. God, the power of God will make it happen. It's going to work through you. Then begin work to make it happen. Say, living as divine architects, crafting your community's future. We talked about this. We said that as bearers of God's image, we are designed not to drift through life, but as creators. To relentlessly shape a future only we can envision. Your mind is the first construction site. We said it. That's when you know Nigeria gets constructed. It's your mind. That's where it gets constructed. You see the new picture. You see it and you draw, put it on paper. So just as God initiates and fulfills, we are wired to birth new realities, not merely manage existing ones. I wonder how many of us, after the electoral banditry in 2023, have been designing a new system of electoral system in Nigeria that cannot be stolen or violated and vandalized like happened in 2023. I wonder how many minds have been trying to conceive a new system and how to make it happen. Design, you're the architect. Unless you design that new system, on the construction site, your mind, unless you construct it, a new system, and then own it, and then start building it, it will never happen. We'll still be living 20 years to come, we'll be living in more hopelessness than what we have now. Because it's our garden. And we are told to walk it. So God initiates things and then fulfills it. And then he made us in his likeness. So that we birth new realities, we initiate things and then fulfill it. Not just merely managing the ones that are existing, that we didn't create, and we don't even like it. We will just be managing it. No. To align with this divine blueprint, dream your vision. These are all things we've discussed in the past. The picture of the end you came to bring into being. Dream it. The end you came to bring it to being. Then imagine that future. Imagine it. For example, combat youth idleness, we said. Then have a picture of it in your mind, a community where 80% of youth earn income through skills. See the picture. That's called vision. The picture is there. And we said, train households. Okay, there is another example. Your mission, when you get that, the strategy to arrive there, to achieve your vision, your game plan. An example, you have this vision of no open defecation in my village, village clean. Your strategies to arrive there can be train households to build low-cost pit latrines, partner with local government to provide construction materials, and launch a hygiene education campaign using town criers and posters. We all discussed this in the past. Now, to transform from vision of that picture to action, remember we said design it, own it, and then build it. To now go into action of building it. Goals is what transforms that. That's where goals come in. It will help me because when I was a little kid, I was never told anything about goals. I never had it. In Nigeria, I never had anything about goals. The only goal I had about is the one that football, play football and it goes into a goal. That's all I had about goals. The goals is supposed to be a natural way my mind works to put target and then hit it. Pray is granted, collect it, make it happen. Whatever you desire, pray is granted, then make it happen. That's a natural way my mind should have been working from school. A practical guide to do this, we said, first, define your why. That's the purpose. Help kids know why they exist. They didn't just come in, become mom and dad, got married and produced them. But they know they came from heaven and they are sent here for a purpose. Why? And as an example, what societal need burns in my spirit. Let them tell you what is happening in the environment they don't like and they feel ought to be different. If they observe mommy being sad all the time, but they think mommy should be happy, that's something. They're observing something. They're observing something. Okay? Then they notice that somebody's face is not good. It ought to be good. And they can take a step further and talk to their mom. Why are you not happy? What's going on? And mom will try to communicate the best way she thinks a little child will understand. And they'll have a picture that I want to make people around me happy. Their mind begin to think of what they could do. And children are very good in what I'm talking about, man. If you begin to direct them in this way, it doesn't matter whether she's coming back from school and she plucks a flower. I'm going to give a flower to mom to make mom's face happy. But the mind begin to think, I can do something to alter something in my environment. I can. Children are very good if they are directed that way. They are very good in catching it and making it practical. They don't talk theory, children. So what society needs burns in my spirit. Why must it be addressed? That's the why. It's a surface goal to say improve education in my village. No, go deeper. Say why. I established a community learning hub because every child deserves literacy to break generational poverty. The why. Clarify why. Why should that alter? Then take giant goals and break them down into daily steps. A big goal like end open defecation in my local government area can be broken down into what I call daily habits. This one is weekly, but a consistent action that will be happening regularly. Survey 5 hoods about sanitation needs. Mobilize church builders. Week 2, to construct one model toilet. Week 3, teach hygiene classes at Sunday school. That's week 1, week 2, week 3. And the tip is that if you start micro, small wins build unstoppable momentum. Build a focused alliance. So surround yourself with those who sharpen your mission. Connect partner with, okay? Connect, partner with NGOs, for example, Water Aid for Boreholes. Inspire, invite successful locals, entrepreneurs, nurses to share solutions. Then digital tools, follow Clean Nigeria HQ on Twitter for sanitation campaigns. These are people that you can surround yourself with. Then track progress relentlessly. Celebrate milestones. For example, 10 mothers trained in nutrition this month. Local donor plate textbooks for our school. These are positive occurrences towards achieving your goal. Celebrate them. Use a victory journal. Write daily progress. No win is too small. A call got returned to you. An appointment got made. You were able to have a meeting that you're supposed to, you wanted to have towards that goal. Write them. That means you're making progress. Exercise, therefore, I said, is societal need identification. Task, name one pressing societal need in your community. Maternal health care, illiteracy, sanitation, write it down. Then goal commitment, challenge. The task is transform a wish into a measurable commitment. Not, I hope young people will find jobs, but I will connect 50 youths to vocational training by December, what we call SMART goals. It's specific, measurable, 50. It's achievable, can count the number, and it's something that we can do between now and December. Time-based, and it's realistic. It's relevant. 50 youths, vocational training, young people need jobs, so it's relevant. Draft your own goal using this framework. And I think I have this in your, I don't know what I think I do have it in your exercise. We are going to go into it soon. Faith in action, reflection, task. Identify one goal you believe is divinely ordained for your community. Now you do that now. Can you just take a pen and write down one goal? One goal. And you believe is relevant for your community. Take a pen and write it now. Yeah, I'm sure that's in your exercise sheet. Okay, have you noted something down?
Yes, sir.
How about others? Over there, have you written something?
Yes.
Okay, can you write under it, 3 practical steps to achieve it.
Don't do much.
We put out 3 practical steps to achieve it. And let me start first by catching the goal. Let's make sure what you wrote is a goal. Can you read out what you wrote? Share with us what you wrote.
I will train 30 young people in Kushit in 5 key vocational skills by August 2026 to break the cycle of dependence and youthful docility.
Okay, thank you. Yep, that's smart goals. It has is specific, measurable, time-based, relevant, and achievable. Okay, smart goals. Who else want to share? But I can share with yours.
Yes, I'm looking at plan village infrastructure to capture, plan my village infrastructure to modernize it by December 2025.
Okay. You have a plan.
Yes.
An infrastructural plan.
Yeah.
To modernize your village.
Village setting.
Same village setting by
2025. December 2025.
Okay. Okay. Yeah.
What I've discovered in my village is that people build anyhow.
Mm-hmm.
The families, they build all kinds of, everybody wants to get a place to build. No road infrastructure, even though it is a village. But I'm looking at the future of that place. People are going to school. We're having professors. We have more than how many pharmacies and medical doctors, and yet people are just building anyhow. So I'm looking at the future that if we do not do anything, in future we're going to have a lot of problems, because that place will be highly modernized, that at the end you cannot even have any, with all the let me say, the wealth that you are going to make. You buy a car, you cannot even bring a car into your house.
Yeah.
So that's what I want to do.
Yeah. Okay. That's clear. That's achievable. That's specific. It's basically we're going to see a plan laid out by December.
Yes.
And we can know whether that when that plan is 60% done or 100%, we can know. So that's achievable. That's measurable, and that's time-based. Who else wants to share with us? Ben, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. I'm still writing. My own goal is on youth empowerment before December 2025 ends. Okay. The 3 practical steps is gathering 10 youths weekly, rewiring their mindset that they can improve and be self-reliant. Okay. Then 2, training 50 youths before December on vocational trainings. Okay. I've not written the 3rd one.
Okay. Okay. So can you say your goal? What is your goal? What do you write as a goal?
My goal is reducing unemployment in my community before 2026 ends.
Okay. Now that's what we are saying. That's what's supposed to be your goal, but it's a wish at the moment. because there's nothing, you can measure what you just said. We can, if you do it 10% or 90% by December, we can't, no, we don't know. Reduce unemployment.
Okay, I will specify it by having a percentage.
A percentage or a number. You know, even one of the things you said you would do, for example, can be a goal. For example, you say you will raise 50 youths and put them in vocational skills. So that one can be a goal on its own because it's measured. It's a target that you can reach by December or whatever. And we can measure how many of them actually. If by December we only find that you did, in fact, you might do 80 by December. So we know you've gone over 100% of what you plan to do. Or you might do only 8, and we know that you have about less than.
Okay, can I say that my goal is training 50 youths before December 2025?
Yeah.
On vocational studies.
Vocational skills, yeah. Equipping 50 youths with vocational skills by December 2025. Sure, that one is a goal because it's measurable, it's time-based, and we can measure, we can know whether it's realistic, it's relevant. Yeah. Actually, did you write anything?
Yes. Mentoring 3 girls weekly. To mentor 3 girls every week, to have 3 girls to mentor every week.
Okay. That's looked at something you want to do to achieve something. Because it's a regular, what they're going to do. A goal is a target you want to reach at a particular time. If you're telling us by this time next week, you have mentored 3 girls, that's a goal. But this time span is week, 1 week, next week. Is that what you meant to say in 1 week?
Yes.
That is by next week, you have mentored 3 girls.
Yes.
Okay. In what? You haven't decided yet.
Yes.
Okay, I'll move ahead.
In seeing themselves as world changers, as people who can influence their society.
Okay.
They should just see themselves as children. They can also influence their society, though children or those still in their youthful age, they can still become important people in the society.
Yeah, okay. The reason leaders drift, breaking the cycle of inaction. Nigerian pastors are saying that silent epidemic. The silent epidemic we have in many Nigerian pastors, like most people, float through life, waiting for divine timing or blaming circumstances. Our community lacks because the government failed us. Who knows what tomorrow holds? This is the kind of mentality that we carry. But the truth is, goals are not mystical. They are practical decisions. God partners with those who act. That's James 2:17. Your pastors, what is James 2:17? James 2:17. What is there? What's written there? Okay, somebody read it.
James 2:17.
So also, faith, if it does not have works, deed, and actions of obedience to back it up, by itself it is destitute of power, inoperative, dead.
Inoperative.
Yeah.
Which version is this?
Amplified. Faith, if it does not have works, deeds, and actions of obedience to back it up, is by itself destitute of power. It's true. Like I told you before, you ask God for good leaders, but there is no action to collect the good leadership, to make it happen. That's why our faith to believe God and receive good leadership in Nigeria has been failing for how many years? Because we have not been taught that faith must have works, actions to express it. I believe God has given me what I asked for. Therefore, I take action to make it my experience. Your pastors, you pray for your congregation. You finish preaching. They come up, you pray. But the place where you have seen others do this, and I know that's where you practice it the most, is in healing. That's probably the only place you practice it. That's probably the only place you practice it. You pray for somebody who's handed like this, and after praying, and you say, God has answered the prayer, then you tell the person, act it out. Stretch your hand. Collect the healing. Stand up and now attempt walking. But we gather for prayer for leadership. God give us good governance. And when we finish praying, we are not told the action to start taking to collect the good leadership we prayed for. We are not taught that we should do something after we finish praying. Then when it comes to our health, we are expected to do something. Again, like I said, that's what you've seen. So that gets embedded in your psyche and you try to repeat that. But you haven't seen much of people praying for recently, I think recently it's coming up in Nigeria. Okay, unemployment been increasing, and you begin to hear now recently people telling we need to pray for an employment. God give me a job. Go and start looking for a job. Start doing something to get yourself employed. If you prayed, then start doing something. Because when you pray, it gets granted. And I said before, don't pray if you are not ready to take action. Don't pray, because that's making a mockery of God. In another place where he says that you should not just bless somebody comes to you hungry and you say, God bless you, God feed you, and you let the person go and leave him stay hungry. No, if you believe that when you say God feed you, God meet your needs, if you believe that is true, act it. You must take action to back up your faith. God partners with those who act. It is in the action that the power of God comes out. Begin to accomplish things beyond your own imagination, beyond what you think. So goals are not mystical, I repeat. They are practical decisions. I've decided that my town is going to be like this. I decided that my school or my nation is going to be like this. I decided it. I have decided that my nation is going to be like this. That my decision is going to be like this. And therefore, I put myself towards it. God begins to walk through you. Begin to put things out through you and give you a new community. 4 barriers that normally hold us back from taking action. I don't know how to do. On awareness that goal setting is possible or necessary. That decision I've made to make something happen, it is necessary. It is necessary. I said, one thing is that we don't know. We are not conscious that that is so. You were never taught to turn vision into steps. Solution to this is start small. Clean water for my village. Go to step 1. Test water quality at 3 local wells this month. Take action. Because those that take action towards resolving things get more results than those that pray, that only pray. Those that don't even pray at all, they take action toward resolving an issue, get more results than those that only pray. We've discussed that before. Second reason why we hold back is fear of failure. What if I try and share my church? Of course, the truth is failure is data, not destiny. A failed borehole teaches which soil layers hold water. Number three is ignorance of your power. You command influence. You have congregations, community trust, moral authority. An example is that a pastor in Sokoto used his pulpit to mobilize volunteers, building 4 clinics in 2 years. That's something very practical that can happen in your town and in your village. The blame comfort is better. I mean, it's so comforting to have other people carry the fault of other people. It just the only problem is that it doesn't change anything. Blaming politicians is easier than drilling one borehole. The shift is, I own community's future. Let that happen in my mind. My community's future is dependent on me. The core issue is ignorance. Many Nigerian adults operate on who knows tomorrow. Life brings what it brings. This happenstance mindset that we carry surrenders agency. Result, only 3% actively design their future. The rest 97% live in the worlds created by these 3%. Check it in Nigeria today. Even though everybody that is in the image and likeness of God is a creator and can create, make new things happen instead of the managing what is already there that we don't like. But only 3% thinks of the new things that will be and pursues to make it happen. The rest of 97% simply went to experience what the 3% are pushing. And you check it today, the people we call the cabals in Nigeria. You know what percentage they are?
They are less than 1%.
They're less than 1%. Bullying everybody, pushing what experience other people should be having, how much you should pay for your bread, whether you even get bread at all.
Mm. So, but in this concept of 3% thinking for 97, where then is the? Are there some people who are not just supposed to? How am I asking this question? Are some people destined to be followers and others destined to be leaders in this life?
No, nobody is destined. Everybody is a leader, unique leader. Yeah. Every individual is a unique leader. There's a way each one of us have been wired to reveal God. And only you can lead in that way. You've been wired to reveal God. Only you can lead in that way. Mm-hmm. And if each one of us had discovered and put very scripture, say everyone is involved in this and everyone benefits. The way I'm wired to reveal God, if I'm the only one can lead in doing it. And as I'm leading in doing it, I benefit everybody else. And that's the way each one of us is wired to lead in revealing God, and everybody else benefits from your leadership. Now, we are aware there are some people who don't know what they have been given to do to benefit other people. They have been wired to lead in a way that benefits others. That's the way each one of us have been wired, right? But a lot of us don't even know that. That's one. So a huge percentage, they're not aware of this. Therefore, the good meant to come out of each individual and benefit the whole society, a lot of that is closed off due to ignorance of not knowing that I am wired with something that will benefit everybody. That ignorance will just wipe that out. Then, among this huge percentage that's not dwelling in ignorance, since their minds are in the dark, and darkness is where evil thrives, because they are wired. They know they are wired. A singer can feel the passion is in him to sing, or technologist and somebody whose brain is working mathematics, physics, and putting it together and coming out. But he does not know why he was wired to bless everybody. So the selfishness of me begins to make use of this wiring. And he puts his passion in that selfishness. He puts his passion in it. Use his skill, use his endowments, and all the talents he's been given, he puts them into this selfish interest. And when he pushes it, instead of blessing everybody, he oppresses everybody. Because he pushes it. What I'm drawing attention now is that fact that he pushes it. Because if all of those of us have been wired, now remember we are dealing with God image here, God likeness. That's what we are dealing with here. That's what I am and that's what you are. And it does not really matter how many people are around are acting at God's interest. You are never subject to their wiring. You are God image and God likeness. There's nothing you can do to lock up Jesus and stop him from functioning. That's why if I capitalize on my wiring, it doesn't matter what Tinubu is doing. It doesn't matter what anybody else is. If I capitalize on my wiring, Bible already declares me more than a conqueror. I will come out. Oh, Papa, help us, Lord. Because I think as I'm talking now, my mind is picking up things. Because I'm using some language that we don't have the same definition about. For example, the word success. We don't have the same definition about success. Because the likes of Tinubu, the likes of all these Kabak politicians that projected their self-interest and are pushing it. They've announced, remember they are the 97%, they've announced to majority of people that that's success. Success is getting a lot of cars and having big houses and having everybody bow down to you and worship you as God. That's success. That's what they projected. So when I say that success that God has wired into each one of us is that you maximally perform in that way you're wired to bless everybody and you succeed at it. That is success for God. The way you are wired to affect the rest of society, you succeed at it.
Bless society.
Yeah. That's why heaven counts your success as how many people have been positively influenced by your life. That's what heaven counts as success. If you want to be great in the kingdom of God, let everybody benefit from your service. It's how many people are benefiting from your service. That's what counts for your greatness in the kingdom. But when these others, one that don't know why they are here, locked up, and they know they have talents, they can feel, if you know mathematics, they can see their brains working in a unique way that puts them ahead of other skills. But they don't know what is there for. So they take selfishness and they package all of them, package into self-interest and push their self-interests. And then announce to everybody, now that I can get so many cars and command so many yachts, I am successful. They announce that. And the rest of the people whose mind are also in the dark don't have information on what it means to be successful. The only this one they are hearing is what they now know. And they're also pushing it. Therefore, they are going for the same self-interest to get as many cars and see how many yachts they can get to so that they can also announce they are successful. So now the definition of success seems to have been altered to become how many cars and how many people are worshiping you. Not how many lives are benefiting from your service. Now, Jesus is the light of the world. That's a major illumination. He came to earth to give back to humanity, restore the human mind to the right way of thinking and seeing and interpreting life, the right way of seeing life. Success is how many people your life has positively influenced, how many people your life has served. That's your life's success measure. How many people your life have positively served. The way you are wired. Because each person is given something to do that shows who God is. I mean, if you just take that one alone, you just know that taking the resources of the community and you to build your house does not benefit everybody. Therefore, you have failed. You have failed. You're a big failure. We will have to redefine success. The rest of our society are in darkness. The world lies in darkness, Bible says. We are to enlighten the world about success. The young people that are coming up. That's why we are here. So we are talking about the 3% versus the 97%. That the 3% are the architects. Those few, they're the architects. And that's what we're talking about here. Where that's 97%, the likes of the cabals we have in Nigeria that are siphoning the national wealth into their personal pockets. They cannot architect the design of how the society is going to be. They won't think it because then itself is their focus. So they cannot think about society.
They don't even have any idea what to do.
They don't. So they will have to. Now you and I, the only thing they can do is think about how to make themselves important. You and I have to put ourselves in the 3%. We are few in number that will architect the society, that will design, like Obadiah just said a few minutes ago, how the state of my village will be, the way it will look like next 10 years, next 20 years. The way relationships is going to be happening in this village next 20 years. You really want to think it, but they want to think it. The way young people will be handling life next 30 years, next 10 years, next 15 years. Only us can think like this. Design it, put it in print, and that's what I'm emphasizing here. That's what I'm emphasizing today. Put it in print, write it down, make it clear the way the society is going to be. And we are making ourselves accountable, knowing that the power of God works through us. This God that came to alter life on earth will do it through me. Wow. Design it, own it, and then build it, because you can. You are wired for it. Others may be blind that they are wired for it, but we are now talking to ourselves here. Let the eyes of your understanding about your life open up. You are wired for it. Build it. The 3% set goals. They think about the school system. They build schools and clinics. They'll think about how others would benefit from what they do. The 3% think that. The 3% see problems as projects. But I said the 97% that don't do, they wait. They see problems as causes. The 97%. The 3% partner strategically to make things happen. And 97% complain about no help. Divine mandate. God gave you a spirit of power so that you can make things happen. The implications for community leaders. You are designed to create. You get that? You are designed to create.
You know, from the way you have painted the last slide, between the 3% and the 97%.
Yeah.
you have hammered again and again on maybe the core reason for which this course is just getting better, for which we are consistently where we are as a people, especially back home here in Nigeria.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we have been brought up on the mindset that in a culture and with the mindset that somebody is the cause of the problem.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so the finger is always pointed at someone. And we forget that as we point one finger at the other person, the other four are actually saying that you were 4 times even worse than what we think is the problem.
Mm-hmm.
And my takeaway from that last slide is that understanding God is not in the theatricals that we do. It's not in the crying and the shouting, God help us, show us mercy. Many times it's just an emotionally driven, it's just actually emptiness. It's so it looks to me a lot more like drama, because the prayer is supposed to be for wisdom.
Yeah.
Just so I can get done what I have been wired to do.
Yeah.
God's power will never fail. There's a side of a bargain that God's doing, and there is your own side to do it. It's my responsibility to craft it, and if I don't create it, God cannot create it for me.
It has to be our mindset. And like I said, I'm praying that God, please, all of us here should be getting the picture in your mind, constructing how our children are going to be programmed with this information. Mm-hmm. Our children has to be programmed with this information. They got to know they are creators. They have to know what it means that they are like God. I saw what when I was a young child, primary school coming up, I read in the Bible, the image and likeness of God. And I wondered, how am I like God? Is God black or white or yellow? And nobody answered me that way. I didn't know how I'm like God. But I remember that I did ask that question inside me over and over again. What does it mean that I'm in the image of God, the likeness of God? What does it mean? But those around me don't know. They didn't know, and they couldn't tell me that I can create, that my brain is to create new realities. I'm supposed to come up with new pictures of what should be and then make it be. That's where I'm made. That the image and the likeness of God I carry to birth new experiences that benefit society. New experiences that benefit society. If that was wired into me, I should have been like a gazelle that jumps up at problems, because that means I have opportunity now. Since there's a problem, I have opportunity to create a new experience, something that everybody will benefit from. You know, it's interesting. Steve Jobs was not a Christian, and yet that was his mindset. I can go into the internet and get that quote, but I had that quote written somewhere. Steve Jobs, I think it's in the book. Steve Jobs quote. He said, the things you are having, the what you is created by somebody. It came from somebody's brain. And your brain can also bring about something other people can use. Make your brain create something. That's what Steve Jobs' mentality. Every problem, anything that he sees that is a problem, his mind begins to think about the solution for that problem. He's not looking for who caused it. Never use his mouth to say somebody caused this problem. He's just thinking of what provisions to make, how to design a technology that resolves that issue. That was the way his mind was working on everything. He hears about out-of-school children. He's thinking about how technology can solve that problem. He hears about children in remote areas where they cannot, they don't have school. Or he's thinking about how to resolve it. Every time, how to produce things, create things, create new things, That's why they sacked him. They sacked him from Apple that he founded. He went and created a new company. And when Apple started going there, they brought him back. He brought his new company back that he created back in. I could create something. Our children are supposed to be wired like that. Please help me communicate this. Help me, please. I said you're designed to create. Design for it. Your village, your town's unmet needs, the water, school, jobs, they are not accidents. It's not by accident that your school doesn't have good buildings. It's not accident. They invite your intentional actions, opportunity that is designed, created for you to bring your own creation. Create something. Beyond spiritual duties, your pulpit isn't your limit. What societal butterflies distract your congregation from digging gold in their local farms, in their healthcare gaps, in youth skill development? Maybe you should try answering that question. I need answer. I said, what societal butterflies distract your congregation from digging gold? And I've explained what digging gold and chasing butterflies is.
You know, there was something you said, sir, in the last slide again. You said that the creators see problems as opportunities.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
They see problems as opportunities, but the 97% see problems as curses.
Yeah.
So one of the major butterflies that has distracted us, in fact, in the Christian community, is prayers for breakthrough, miracle money, miracle money.
Yeah.
I was telling my wife, was it 2 days ago? I said that nobody is born destined by God to be poor. We are created in a world of abundance, and if your mindset changes and you build the system that makes that possible, you will have wealth.
Yeah.
And I was talking about that in line, and I mentioned to her, I said, the money we use today that we are crazily praying for, miracle of money, I said, it's somebody's idea. God did not create money.
Yep.
It's a means of exchange for value. You know, so but in the congregation, so that is more important. When we would have been in the farms and the money would have looked for us, digging gold. When we would have created a more viable, effective health system, and the money would have been looking for us. No, we don't want to create those systems. We want to pursue the money.
Okay.
And the more we pursue it, the more it runs. Because you never pursue it that way. You create value, solutions to issues of life. Solutions are it's like the problems, like you said in the other slide. Problems, therefore, are opportunities, great opportunities.
Yeah.
That's the biggest asset you will ever have, a problem. Because if you can solve that problem, you will have whatever you want. The world bows at the feet of those who can bring solutions, whoever they are. One of the things you said this morning that struck me very deeply is the fact that, in fact, that anyone who engages the principle, irrespective of whether they believe in God or not, in many cases, you said that even those who don't pray at all, and they engage the principle, they are able to have results. And that's so true, because they're just doing it. And many times they're just doing trial and error. They just want to figure out how this can be done.
Yeah.
Because in a world that is rigid and inflexible, everything is cast in gold. There's a way certain things have to be done. If you don't follow it and you don't walk the garden, nothing changes about it at all.
That's correct.
I feel like one of the major distractions we have is this chasing wealth, breakthrough, chasing it, when we should have created systems that would have made wealth so available.
Yeah.
I want to join him there. Initially, you said your pulpit is a platform for national change.
Yeah.
And I wonder whether those who are clergies actually look at it from that particular aspect of national change or transformation. And just like Mr. Pokes has just said, you said, and I think we have to think of this properly as we stand on the pulpit. And our minds have to redirect the minds of also members of the congregation. You say that actually those who pray and don't take action will get less results than those who take action and don't pray.
Correct.
That's a serious one.
Yeah.
You know, and that actually you get better action if you pray and you take action.
Yeah.
Now the issue is that we are concentrating on prayer and not action in this particular case, and That is where the clergy has to rethink. You know, you go to any church now, you say, oh, no, just go and act, you know, just go and do this. Or they will say you are the devil around.
Yeah. Need to change. And we are the catalysts to bring that change. I re-emphasize that 3% and 97%. Even in the clergy, 3% and 97%. Because you can only give what you have and what has been around us. All the people that are clergy today, I grew up with them. And so many of them, I grew up with them. We all grew up together, and we are hearing the same thing. Their mind, what we are hearing, what they had is not different from what I heard. Their mind, we are formed like mine. If I were wearing a collar today, I would be preaching the same thing they are preaching. Until my mind open up to what I'm now saying now, before what I'm saying will change. So even among the clergy.
So let me say something here. You see, I'm seeing this very training as a movement. This is like a revolution, spiritual revolution that is starting.
Yeah.
And God have used you as a pioneer. Because even you yourself, as you are mentoring us, your eyes being open to another greater aspect of life, which you don't even know by 2 years ago or 3 years ago. Even the changes we are talking about, it has not even occurred to you 5 years ago that you can change your community, your own community, that you can impact in them. So I am seeing this as a finger of God bringing about revolution. So we will not even blame some other people outside there that have not gotten this. Because the Bible says, how can they preach if they don't know? And already, these people now, they are grown up, they are educated. Most of them are professionals. But this mindset, this very revolution or movement I'm talking about, they are not aware of it. They are purely ignorant of it. So by the special grace of God, as God is inspiring you to inculcate in us or transfer this vision to us, I believe that in 1 or 2 or 3 years coming, there will be greater impact. Because this is just like a wildfire that have just started. And soon, it will get to others. Because even since we started this, let me tell you, I saw this as, okay, for example, you find out that every individual is somehow selfish. Okay, let me say 97% of human being on earth, or okay, in Nigeria, they are selfish. That is why our government, all of anybody that goes in there, will mind his family, mind his first generation, second and third generation to keep wealth for them. Even in our local meeting, or even pastor's meeting, or even village, whatever, everybody is counting success by the abundance of material things you have or you possess. They are not counting success as a result of the life they have imparted. It is like a natural phenomenon here in Nigeria. And by even you yourself, some 10 years ago, you are seeing it like that. Because myself, we count successful pastors now as people that have built a mega church and then go on big cars. And we that have smaller churches, we are not succeeding. That's how we see it. In the whole setup, that is how everybody sees success. But now, this is requiring a new movement, a new mindset, a new revolution to conquer what has been existing. Because had it been that, and let me tell you, this very inspiration is not gotten by reading books. So it's not even gotten by education. But this one is divinely made. Is a divine mandate. Let me put it that way. So I am believing God that what you are doing now is not ordinary. It is God's agenda to change every damn setup. Because honestly, every man, every human being, I'm seeing every person before now as selfish, including myself. Because if I go in there tomorrow, I will make sure that my family is okay, my generation is okay, and I will do some, not that I will not work, but I will make sure that I guided everything very, very well. So that's the cabals we are talking about. Do they think of the betterment of the Nigerians? No. They only think of themselves.
Okay.
So this is what I'm saying. God bless you, sir.
Okay, thank you. So we will continue. Like I said, the implication of what we've been discussing for community leaders, that you are designed to create primary, and my heart keep going, please help me. The children under your care must be told this early. Please, please, please build the consciousness of the children in your care, the young people in your care. This must be cultivated in the consciousness of primary school children. They are actually the main target. They must know that they are designed to create. They must know what it means that they are the image of God, the likeness of God. They must know that it's beyond just being a nice girl and a nice boy. They must know they carry God for real, that they are co-creators with God, co-creators. They must know that divinity is at work inside them to inject their mind with new pictures of the environment, new pictures. They must desire it. The desire, the hunger for it must rise in their mind, in their hearts. Even those that are out of school, let them know that they are not locked out of heaven. Their minds are not, the reason for school is to help them open their minds. If they cannot, and they have scores of examples I can give you. Those that could not go to school, they've altered the world, not with their ignorant mind. But this desire I'm talking about is in them, so that they win any book they can get. They will go and find a book for themselves to read. As soon as they get the idea that their mind need to know, they began to, I don't want to sidetrack now, but I can tell you a lot of stories about that. Major names you know about were self-educated, self-taught. Major names you know about. Benjamin Franklin. I don't know they are aware about Benjamin Franklin. Go and check internet, write Benjamin Franklin on internet, and see how many inventions. But Benjamin Franklin didn't go past elementary 3 or so, or 2 or so. He couldn't. But he was highly educated, teaching himself. His biography shows you how under candlelight, when he was, or what's his name? William Carey, that altered India. And many other names like that. So let's carry on. Let the kids under your care know that their minds are God equipment to conceive new pictures that they will birth in society. That's what it means that they are like God. Their minds, new picture they will birth in society that alters life for everybody else. Just like God gives his air to everybody to breathe. The outflow of God from them is to give life to everybody else. They are equipped that way. Let them know that the fact, anything that they think they don't have now will never, that never reduces their being like God. Never. It's what, as kids, maybe their parents are supposed to, or their uncle or auntie, they're supposed to create them, or their neighbors they could create an environment, and they didn't create it, doesn't reduce their ability to create it. That the school they go to is bad, because other people are not put good schools, have not reduced their ability to create good schools. So let them look forward to the good school they will create better than the one they are going to now, because they are creators. It makes me go back to that first line again, that your village or town's unmet needs, water, school, jobs, they are not accidents. You were born into that era where these things are like this. It's not accident. It's not by accident that you got born into Nigeria, where leadership is bad. It's not accident. That you are born into an era where the leaders are so messing up the play that inflation is high and food is hard. It's not accident that you are born into that era. These invite your intentional action. That's a major topic of this morning. Intentional action, because you are wired to alter the situation. You are wired for it. That's your basic nature, God nature, to alter the situation. So talking to pastors now, I say, beyond spiritual duties, your pulpit isn't your limit. But that's what Major Tina thought about my generation, pastors among us. Because we were raised where the pastoral duties stopped at the pulpit. But I said it last time, who can own the society more than a pastor? He has the community that come and is sitting there looking at him every Sunday. Who owns the community like a pastor? Nobody. Nobody. Even those that don't come to his church believes that he has influence over them. The pulpit isn't your limit. And that's why I'm saying, what is the societal butterfly distracting your congregation from digging gold? Because, of course, if you had trained them to dig gold, they will be digging gold. But not what I'm trying to say, for us to start from here, those of you that are here, listening to me, hearing me now, you must remove that limit from your pulpit. You must remove it. You must remove that limit. The pulpit must become practical in the society. The pulpit must become practical in the society. Your parish is not your building. Let's move on. Your dual opportunity. Set personal goals beyond pastoral work. Launch a community cooperative that December. Equip members to identify their goals. For example, Sister Ngozi trains 10 women in tailoring by March. Then reflect, where have you accepted happenstance in your community instead of leading change? Reflect. In which aspect of life have you accepted happenstance? That while you have not actively taken action, you are still expecting something to be different. Which aspect of life? Is it in roads? Is it the roads that pass through your church or around your community? You're expecting the road to become different when you have not taken a specific action deliberately to alter the situation. What is it? You're expecting the hospital to become different? The health system to become different, to change? When you have not taken specific action, leading the change. You have not led the change. You are the one placed in this to walk the land, walk the society. So I said, think, what have you accepted? Where have you accepted happenstance? That it will just happen. Instead of you leading the change. Leading the change. Case study from passive to pioneer. Pastor Chidine Ebonyi. Problem, youth drug abuse and unemployment. Old mindset, only God can change this situation. So we just call night vigils and pray and then go home, expecting God to change it. Breakthrough, set a goal. Train 30 youths in agriculture by December. And I said, a goal like that, people back home have been praying and did nothing. And an NGO comes, maybe it has happened in several places, many places. You know, an NGO, typically a Westerner, just come on, maybe on safari, just want to visit Africa on holidays, traveling from there, and passes through and sees this. He didn't pray, no prayer at all. He just sets up an NGO and start planning to change it and changes it. And you know our people. But we'll say it's our prayer that brought him, which can be true. You'll be true. I mean, it could be true that only that we don't know that the reason why God brought him and he came and acted in front of us without praying, for us to know what we are supposed to do. We are supposed to take action to make the thing change, not just pray. We didn't learn that lesson. So when another problem comes, we pray again and wait for God to send another white man, a Japanese that don't even know God, to come and take the action. And when our government so maltreats the Japanese, they pack their business and leave. And you're praying and they're not coming anymore. And we are stuck because they are no longer coming. Whatever was bringing them before, the government has canceled it, so they don't come. So we get stuck because we didn't learn the lesson when they were around us, teaching us that it's the action that changes the experience, not just prayer. We didn't learn it. Now we have to learn it by force. So set a goal. When this kid set a goal, 30 youths in agriculture in December. Number one, partnered, she led the change. He led the change. This kept coming up right from the beginning when people were trying to bring up, I mean, just the way we are programmed. The antenna just come up. I don't have money. I don't have the resources. I know it came up in my spirit. I said it over and over again. God hasn't asked you to go and get the resources. God asked you to lead the change. He put you in the garden to lead the change. Each person is given something to lead in making happen. That's what he wired you for. Lead it. But each time you hear about doing something, your mind goes to your bank account. As if your bank account is big enough to fund God's action, or you've forgotten that it is God working through you to make things happen. Therefore, because your bank account is so tiny, you reduce God's mission and God's vision in your life to such a level that you just don't do nothing because your account is empty. But you were positioned in the garden not to go and get resources. That's not what you are in the garden for. It's walking the garden, altering the situation. So an example giving you that. He put the goal, 30 youths trained in agriculture by December. And then the brain began to create how to make it happen. Partnered with local agribusinesses. Used church land for training farms. Result, 27 youths now earn income, drug arrest dropped 40%. We don't yet know how much came out of his bank account to do that. All he did, he led the change, lead it. The desire for a new environment, new society was in his heart. He asked, he got granted, and he materialized it. Your empowerment challenge, and I said again, name one societal need: malnutrition, illiteracy, flooding. Set a 90-day goal, specific. Install 5 trash bins in market areas. It's easy, isn't it? Can be done. Measurable. Reduce cholera cases by 30%. Activate your network. Tomorrow, meet a health worker, teacher, or entrepreneur in your congregation. Ignorance of your power is the greatest weapon against change. Ignorance of your power is the greatest weapon against change, to make you think you are small. Key insight: you are not just a shepherd of souls. You are a community architect. When you set goals, you turn divine vision into earthly reality. So start building. Unlock your community's potential. A game plan for change. Life is a strategy game, so learn the controls. Imagine leading a village like playing civilization. Without goals, you wander, resources dwindle, problems multiply. You are leading the village. You are leading the village. I say without goals, targets to hit in bringing this civilization that your mind has captured. Without goals, no targets to hit. You will be wandering. You'll be just doing busy acting, but no target to hit. Resources dwindle because they're going to be using up resources. Little bit there is, you can see. And then problems multiply without targets. But if you have goals, you build wells. 5 wells built by December 2025. You build schools. In 1 school built by February 2027. You build clinics, transforming pixels into progress. Goals are targets, decisions made of what will happen. The pastor's playbook, I said, set a goal. And your mind begins to spot allies. Set a goal like end cholera in 2 villages. Once that decision is made, I end cholera in 2 villages. He said, your mind begin to spot allies. You sort of take notice of a doctor in your church because you have something to accomplish and you require a doctor. You then notice there's a doctor in your church. An NGO water grant, you see it and recognize it. But it's something that probably is in the paper. You've been scrubbing through it for so many, didn't pay attention, didn't catch your attention. Unused church land for sanitation training. The resources are all over, but your mind can't allocate any of these resources to anything because you don't have a goal to hit. And once you do, your mind begins to pick up things around you. 3 steps to break that cycle. Awareness, you hold the controller. Truth, your past or resources don't define you. Your choices do. The decisions you made is what brought you to where you are, and decisions you make will put you in the position you will be tomorrow. Shift from I am not a victim of circumstances. That's what you shift to. I am a solution architect. That's what I am. I am a solution architect. Small experiments. Test your power. Try this month. Health. Train 1 birth attendant. Cut maternal deaths by that. Agriculture. Start a demo farm on church land. Then boost yields. Result, tiny wins build faith to tackle bigger giants. Embrace discomfort. Failure actually fuels your efforts. A flooded rice farm teaches drainage techniques. And this is where we're talking about a decision made that will increase the yield this year or next year. Will multiply the yield. And then you get a farm, cultivate, or rather you want to end hunger in this village. So you get a farm and cultivate. You didn't think about drainage. And then during rain time, rain season, flooding everywhere. That's calling you for a scale drainage technique. And then next farming season, you put the drainage technique in place, the drainage in place. You find that within 2-3 years, you solve the hunger problem, but you're no longer the same person. You are now a drainage expert, not just a farmer. A rejected grant reveals better proposal tactics because now you're probably going to consult somebody like Pokis and find out whether he's been writing grants and have you tell me how. And he takes you through. Now, by the time you get your grant, you're not longer the same person. You're a grant expert now, writing expert. Some expertise have added into your life. We talked about it last time, that it is those things that have the problems you resolve that equipped you with skills and experience. Who you become, that's a bigger asset that no inflation can touch. Each setback is a lesson paid in advance. That's the way to look at setbacks. You don't like them, but you don't like payments. The payments get you value. That's the reason why you go ahead and pay anyway. You don't want the money in your pocket to deplete, but you can see the value you will get, so you take out the money and hand it over and collect the value. So go through your project, start, experience setbacks, and gain the value of experience. Goal setting mind shift. When you declare a goal, your brain rewires to spot opportunities. Example, improve child nutrition. When you declare that goal, you notice a member owns a soybean farm, protein source, government school feeding grants, can apply, youth corpers needing community service hours, volunteers. These are all there already, but you don't notice them until the goal is set. This isn't luck. It is focused faith. Focused faith. Your challenge, start your quest. Name one avoided goal. I've wanted to build a skills center, but feared costs. Launch a 30-day trial. Step 1, convert a church hall into a free evening class, carpentry, coding, tailoring. Step 2, invite 3 skilled members to teach. And then track divine clues. Journal doors that open. For example, you meet an NGO rep at market, offered you 20 sewing machines. Nigeria Spotlight. These are the examples which I'm going to. I have so many of these in the articles I gave you. So takeaways. Active faith. Goals is a way to make your faith active. Move from God fix this to God use me to fix this. I put Esther 4:16 there. Esther prayed, fasted and prayed for 3 days, mobilized the Jews to fast and pray. But what saved the Jews is not just the prayer. Answer me, please. What saved the Jews?
The action.
What is the action?
She went and saw the king, even if it was at the expense of her own life.
That's right. And that is the only thing that changes things on earth. God put us here to behave like that. To set a goal and say, it might take my life, I'm ready to take my life. I'm going to take this action. If I perish, I perish. That's why I'm here for. I didn't come here to live on earth. I came on earth to alter. And if I perish in the process, that's okay. That's what I came for. And Jesus says, those that seek to preserve their lives from perishing will lose their life. What are those 2 lives Jesus talked about? Use Esther's example to tell me about those 2 lives. Esther didn't preserve her life and therefore gained her life. What is the life Esther would have lost if she tried to preserve her life?
My thinking is that she would have lost her destiny. She would have lost the calling of God upon her life.
Now, if you just take that alone, so destiny is your true life. Destiny is your true life. It's not your biological breathing in and out. Because that's what many want to protect. Their biological breathing in and out. And therefore lose their true lives. Because they can't materialize it. So, goals are a means, a way of acting out your faith. You believe that you are one with God and that God walks here, that God is present here and God is active here. You believe that? Goals is a way to give a target for what God will make happen through you. Give a target for what God will make happen through you. And then take action to make it happen. That's your faith in action. God works. It changes from God fix this to God do it through me. Esther says, God will deliver us, but it's through me. He's going to deliver us through me. Small is greater than stalled. I don't know whether you know it. One health outreach saves more lives than 100 sermons about healing. Your brain is an ally. So set the target. The Holy Spirit handles the tactics. The 3% are you. You are the 3%. Just the 3% are you. They just pressed start. 3%. The few. Your group. They just started. So don't look around at the 97% that are not doing anything or not even trying to do anything. Don't look around because the 3% have just started. And you're one of them. Design your legacy from drift to direction. The pastor's choice. Train a butterfly. The train goals are fixed tracks. Your goals, they form fixed tracks, focused on purpose. For example, end open defecation in 5 villages. That's locked. Decision. Result, steady progress. Distractions fade. Once we have locked ourselves into a target to hit, it begins to select the actions we take and the actions we ditch, opportunities we seize and distractions we avoid, because we are locked into a target we must hit. The butterfly, chasing trends, approvals, or quick wins, launching disconnected programs to please donors. We look for projects. We look for where grants can be granted. And that's how some people run projects. So look for projects that we can get grants for. So today, it is health clinic, and tomorrow, it is children's playground. Next tomorrow, it is hospital visit or church roof, whatever. I mean, there's no target, and that's how year and year will pass. The society never alters. Result, burnout, shallow impact. Truth, great leaders design legacies. Design it. Nigeria, you are God's divine architect for Nigeria's future. And we say design it, own it, and then build it. Great leaders design legacies. They don't stumble into them. Legacies don't happen by accidents. They build life blueprints. They have clear plans for their contribution to the world. And you are one of them. Start early. Ideally, by age 18, one should have clarity on their unique destiny, how they will impact society, and their finish line legacy. Holy Spirit, help us. I'm talking to you. The reason I keep talking because it's being recorded, because I know many of you are not paying attention. Majority of you are not, I know. But I'm just talking because it's being recorded. And I pray that the Holy Spirit help you. By the time some of you that are not even hearing me now gets back to go and listen to the recording, you will hear these things. That the children, you help me help children. By age 18, they should know their unique destiny. They should know how they are wired to impact society. By age 18, they should know their finish line legacy. They should have a blueprint of their life, what they are going to do. They are 18 now. By the time they are 38 and 48 and 58, by the time they are 68, how the world will be, their world will be, because they are creating it. They are creating it. The current reality, of course, is that most enter adulthood without direction.
Lord Jesus.
Following the 97% who chase distractions, butterflies, trapped in survival mode rather than purpose mode. Purpose mode. And purpose mode is very possible, just that their mind is not wired like that. Very possible. Very possible. Are you on track? Train on rails. For example, I'm systematically training 100 farmers in climate-resistant techniques by 2025 to reduce hunger in our local government. Perhaps you're meeting with only one now, and next week or next month you'll be meeting with 3. You're building up. You're building up. Action. Progressing step by step towards clear community impact, because you set that target.
Sir, am I right in my imagination? Because there was something I asked you more than a month ago, I think maybe 2 months now. And you said, I was asking you about, I wish we had known these things and understood these things. And you said, yes, now that we know, it is easier for us to get it done than groping in the darkness of ignorance, and trying to figure these things out. Mm-hmm. But what I'm seeing, the last slide before this particular slide, you're talking about the blueprint for life. You're talking about this, everything clearly marked out, such that if we were brought up in a culture like that, at the age of 18, we would have been so set in our ways, because we can tell what our lives are all about and what we are pursuing. But what is going through my mind right now is that with this knowledge, even at this age, even at this stage of my life, I'm imagining that if one really launches out and commits to all of these things, is it not possible to get these things done in a matter of 3 to 5 years? That one can really begin to see visible, tenable changes, concrete changes as a result of commitment to these goals, because they are so clear, they are so real to life, that I believe that if we were to implement this personally, for instance, at my personal level, I think it's going to solve me a lot of problems than just trying to do what every other person is doing. Because like what you're saying now in this current slide now, that is it. It's like we just get on, it's just about how to survive.
We are building ourselves out of survive. Yeah, we are building ourselves out of survival. We are building ourselves out of it. By God's grace, God has brought so much information to let us know that our problem is our mind. Problem is our mind. Our problem is not resources. It does not matter if there's no resource at all. Our problem is still resources. If our mind, those amount of the environment we grew up, minds, we are all hooked onto survival. That's what they were all talking about. My parents, my grandparents, my aunties, my uncles, my teachers, everybody was focused on survival. Therefore, my mind had no other information but survival to be molded with. I got molded with it.
Right. Oh, God.
Now, the truth comes. Jesus said the truth when you know the truth makes you free. The first, where the free is in my mind. The truth releases my mind from survival mode The truth is coming now, recalibrating my mentality to put purpose there. That's what it was supposed to be. That the restoration of my mind. He restores my soul. God is restoring my soul, my mind. Restore it to purpose living. That I was sent. I arrived here because I was sent. I didn't just drop out. I was sent. I was sent. And there is something I'm wired to make happen before I leave. And I am well equipped and fitted to make it happen. And I'm to start with where I am now. When I start, divinity keeps working, and the increase and the multiplication and growth begins to happen in the direction of where I'm supposed to grow. That growth begins when I begin. The potential is unlimited. I am like God. I am godlike in true holiness and righteousness. I am godlike. So what my life can accomplish unlimited. Seeing the direction and the track laid out. By 18, I should have been on my track now. So that the choices of the course I read at university, where I will do my internship, everything is selected by this purpose. I'm here to fulfill. It selects everything for me. Selects my friends. Selects who I will marry. Selects where I will live. It selects everything. The societies I should join in school, it selects everything. Chasing butterflies like dog chasing cars. Example, jumping between quick money ventures while school lacks books. Symptoms, reacting to every crisis without lasting change. And I think this probably is the final in this session. Create the blueprint for your community transformation. With the information you have got so far this morning, why create blueprints? It's supposed to spot patterns of purpose. Injustice that makes your blood boil. For example, children drinking dirty water, girls out of school. You pick it up. Your work that makes you lose track of time. For example, training farmers and building clinics. The blueprint helps you pick up these things. Then you avoid detours because there's a blueprint laid out now. You are on what you enjoy. That's what you are wired for. Because you designed this thing. You picked up what your life is wired for, and you designed what it alters in society and how the new society will be when you have finished working on it. You designed it, you have it in print. Therefore, it avoids detours. You say no to projects that don't align with your mission. For example, a politician's pet project versus real needs. You can say no, and you can say yes to other opportunities. It builds unshakable confidence. Can pivot when setbacks hit. For example, funding died, you can switch over to a way another will function because your why is clear. You can't abandon the project. I mean, if what makes your blood boil is children drinking dirty water, that the funding you applied for to put borehole didn't come through anymore, you can't abandon you to keep drinking dirty water. Your why is too strong for that. You got to find another way to bring clean water, whether it is rainwater harvesting or something else. But you can't because the way you want to do it didn't work. You can't abandon the project. The goal set means the goal will be achieved. The method of achieving it can change. I think that's getting into the next set of slides. Your dual community as dual opportunity as pastors and community leaders. Create your blueprint beyond sermons. How will I measurably improve healthcare access in my village by 2027? Equip others to discover theirs. And I say pastors are at a unique advantage more than anybody.
Exactly.
Me. You have a lot of resources in human beings. Even if there are only 20 of them, you already have more than I have. If you're even just 20, help you to identify societal needs, matching their wiring. For example, Kenny's passion for clean water could solve our borehole crisis. Help them discover their passion, what they are wired for. Commission members during adulthood ceremonies with purpose statements. That's what I mean by 18. Adulthood ceremony. Can you imagine your church doing that? You track the young people. You know what you are giving them through their Sunday school or by age 18, you celebrate it in church. By age 18, they will read out to the church what their life is going to accomplish in society. They read it out. They have a blueprint. Their life are going to accomplish it. They're going to accomplish it. They're 18 now. By the time they are 28, 38, this is what's going to happen. Because you've trained them to think that way. They are godlike. Therefore, they're going to create things. They are going to create things. Discuss with a friend what butterflies or distractions keep our community from solving core problems like bad roads, malnutrition. What one track we could build together. I said, discuss that with a friend. Life's railway, purpose versus distraction. Your divine wiring plus a definite goal. That's what I call an unstoppable combination. Your divine wiring means that's what you love to eat. But now there's a definite goal to achieve with this wiring. Nothing can stop you. Nothing. Nothing. Not even lack of resources can stop you. They are the resource. Like a train firmly locked on its track. When aligned, you become undistractable from your true calling. Every action moves you toward your destined impact. You accomplish what only you were designed to achieve. On the other hand, the Nigerian reality is that most are derailed by survivor butterflies. We talked about it a few minutes ago. Chasing whatever shines today. Oil boom jobs while education suffers. Political appointments while communities decay. Even pastoral titles while real needs go unmet. Why do we chase butterflies? Because of the survivor panic. This quick money will feed my family. We have social pressure. My father demanded I become a lawyer. Or cultural applause. Being reverend, chief, earns you respect. Misguided parenting, pushing children into medicine when they are actually wired for farming innovation. The cost, we sacrifice generational impact for temporary validation. So I'm asking you to draft your kingdom blueprint, giving you a 30-minute challenge. And I think here you need to go into your, I will drop a link for you to start practice something now. Your community blueprint. Okay, can you open that form?
Okay.
And I'll give you, just try, you're not going to complete all of it, but I want you to just make a start. And then.
Yes, I will have opened it.
Yeah, okay. Can you make a start? The first one there says, it's a community blueprint. I think you said, define one audacious goal. I will ensure, this is an example, I will ensure no woman in my parish dies in childbirth at 2027. You have yours there in the, I said, first of all, set personal goals, ask legacy questions. What will your community say about my leadership? What will our community say about my leadership in 20 years? Can you answer the question?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Like I said, you will not finish. Have you done the first question number one?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. Share your answer with me for question A. 1A and 1B. Anybody sharing at all?
The community will make my community will make reference to visible changes brought about by my leadership, changes in behavior, the leadership that ended docility and passivity, encouraged ownership and personal responsibility, bringing about the building of systems that change our community.
Okay. Anybody else? Right. It appears nobody else is ready. Let's carry on, bookies. So of course you've gone through that. That's what I remember. Exercise 4.1. That's what you are doing now. I asked you to do.
Can I? Okay, all right. We'll continue later. Is that?
Yes, continue later.
Okay.
8 rules for effective goal setting. Specific, and I'm going to run this quick because we've actually done all along. I've been bringing this out and we have been capturing it. So it's bad. Help the poor is not an ideal goal. In order to train youth in solar installation by 2025, that's better because it's specific. And I said measurable, smart goals. Measurable, install 5 boreholes serving 3,000 people by 2024. Deadline driven, 2025. Achievable, something that can be done. Then avoid all or nothing by saying solve Nigeria's educational crisis. No, instead, host Saturday tutoring for 100 kids. Just train. I'll train. I'll just go perform training and I will do something specific that will alter the education of certain people in Nigeria. That's more specific. A goal, a target that can be hit and know that it's been hit. And it encourages you set another target and hit that target. Solve Nigeria's educational crisis is not a target. It's a direction, but it's not a target. It's a mission. It's a mission, but not a goal. It should be value aligned. Does this reflect God's heart for justice? For example, tailoring workshop for widows. Balanced. Health, family, and other parts of your life are part of you. So the goals should be balanced, and you're going to do quite a number of it. Work 30 minutes a day for your health. For family, take free dinners 4 times a week. You should have a goal. Keystone focus. You should have a focal, one particular goal that if you accomplish it, it will affect so many other parts of your life and make things much easier. You should always have that one goal that is primary, that drives other goals. Vocational, for example, vocational center reduces unemployment, funds projects, curbs crime. So a goal set to set up a vocational training center can be a keystone goal. Income general integration launched Thrift Society to fund school renovations. That's an example, okay? Now, the second part of the workbook, goal setting, workbook 4.2. Now I'm going to put these workbooks in the Slick training site. So you open it there, and I'll just share it with you on the screen here, but you will get it on the Slick training website. So build goals around your purpose. So there are 4.2, and I think there's also 4.3. The 4.2 will be talking to you about building goals around your purpose. So there will be goals for your life purpose impact, goals for your life purpose strategy, and there are examples given you there. Skills, there will be goals for your habits and all the others. You will have all of them. The link will be there in the website, Slick Training website. So I won't go into it here. And after that, there are goals. There are another workbook to help you generate more goals for yourself. If you need more, if you don't have enough, there are more goals you can generate. In fact, I asked you to generate about 100 goals. Populate your life with goal targets so that your mind knows that we are here to make something happen. In every direction, there's a focus. Okay, when you come to your family, there's a focus to your relation, your career, the experience, personal development. Every area of your life has a target. Let me show you that. So that I've shown you that one for life purpose. The second one, 4.3, balanced goals. We will be requiring you to go about spirituality, your family, your friendship, your diary, your experience. Then there is the last one, 4.4, more exercise to the city of goals. So just telling you, these are there. So I'm not going to go through them now. I said you should be able to describe goals as active commitments. Goals are not wishes. You should be able to determine goals that transform your vision into action. Take your vision and make it actionable by setting goals, targets to hit. Be able to break the cycle of inaction. You now know how to do that. Set goals, targets to hit, and begin the first one. Be able to design your legacy. Design it from drifting to direction. You know exactly how you're going to live and what you leave behind. Be able to create blueprint for your community, to transform your community.
So I have a question.
That's what the next slide says.
Okay.
Question.
Okay. So I'm one of the things that I've found a bit challenging for me so far is sometimes how I will sometimes I break away from my consistency in following up with the goals that I have set up to achieve, and consistency is key. How do I break the vicious cycle that had over the years become a part of my life so that I'm more successful, in being consistent at what I'm supposed to do over a long stretch of time? Is there a science to it? Some say that if you consistently do something for 21 days, you'll be able to break away from it. But I mean, I've done that, but after a while, you discover that there's a relapse back to this inconsistency with it. Is there a science to ensuring that it becomes a culture and a part of life?
Okay. Consistency, I have found for me, I think is the fact that I always have goals to hit, a target to hit. I have something to deliver. And what has also helped me is that I have people, even though unconscious, I didn't actually plan it, but I have people that are expecting things from me. So it's like I became accountable. I didn't know it, but that's what happened. I spent the whole of 2022 writing books. In fact, I was writing one book a month.
Wow.
Every month I wrote a book, published a book a month. That is the slick book, slick materials. It's not that I researched for it and then no, all the materials are already there because I've been doing the training. So the materials are already there. In fact, that's what Brennan that encouraged me to write. I said, you already have the materials. They'll put them, they'll publish them. That's all. But at the end of 2021, when I set a target that throughout 2022, every month I'm going to create one of the books. I did the first one. I think the first one took up to March before it finally came. It came out first. Then Amazon printed it. Something was wrong with the way I submitted it, and it came out wrong. So the first batch went bad. I corrected them, sent it. So it pulled me back 3 months. But when I gave out the first book to the brethren that were here, that were helping me, and they reviewed it, will give me feedback and asked me, where's the second one? So that, where is the second one? I said, okay, I'm coming. I went and did it. Gave the second one, but quickly they finished. They said, where's the third one? So that expectation that they were reviewing more than I'm giving them, that it kept pulling me. But I kept at it. I must finish. Of course, there was also the persuasion that the Spirit of God ministered to me that I'm holding a lot of people's life back. I wrote it down in my note. He ministered it to me that I'm holding many people's lives back by not releasing these materials. I didn't create the workbooks. So there is the accountability part. That's what I know people have always used. So have accountability. People are holding you accountable. If you have that kind of accountability, okay, for example, when I finished by September of that year, November, I went for a conference in Ivory Coast. I had created workbooks 1 to 7. I took them for a conference, came back. We were still working on others. But when I sent the books to DSA, he looked at them and told me, I'm expecting the other 3 left. Where are they? So that's accountability. No, rather, he was expecting it. Then I have to finish this because somebody's expecting it. So accountability, I think that's why you normally hear people saying, have people like hold you accountable. If you set your goal, give it to people, somebody else, to expect it from you. And have a regular check-in to say, how are you doing? It's like creating an opportunity, the kind of thing you have, a scenario you have in an employee and an employer. The employer have given the employee some tasks. Say, I need to have them by Friday morning. That expectation, and he doesn't want to fail in his job, makes him put extra effort. And he keeps doing it for the next 50 years. I have people in my company, people have been there for 50 years. Consistent.
Wow.
Consistency.
Wow.
Consistent. Wow. 50 years in a company. Okay? So it's not 21 days. It's not 21 days. It's 50 years.
Yeah. Oh, wow. Oh, wow.
So accountability is a big thing. And that's why if we are as a group here expecting something from one another, and we are giving ourselves reports on how we are progressing, holding each other accountable, I think that's what keeps us pulling more. Dealing with that, deal with procrastination, deals with inconsistency.
Wow. Thank you so much, sir.
Okay, so I will give you 5 minutes break and I'll come back.